Alright, so now let's take a look at the DLC race. Rather, the day one DLC, yeah, they're still doing this. They're still doing the thing where they are incentivizing you to pre-order the game to get a race that will be available at launch, and get it for free. Otherwise, guess what? You gotta pay, I don't know, what, $5-10 or whatever it is to unlock this race. I hate that they are still doing this. This is so ridiculous. This day one DLC stuff needs to stop. Especially, just, ugh. Jeez Louise. But yeah, the Ogres are the day one DLC for this game compared to the Warriors of Chaos from the first game, and I'm trying to remember who it was for the second game, but you guys get the point. The Ogres are a race of large humanoids, tough, vicious, and always hungry. Semi-nomadic in nature, wandering ogre tribes can be found wrecking their way across the known world. Yet no matter how far away they may be, all ogres consider the scattered tribal kingdoms that dominate the slopes and river valleys of the Mountains of Morn to be their rightful hard-earned homeland. They fight as thugs, bandits, and mercenaries, picking on the strong and the weak alike, battling mighty foes and powerful kingdoms thousands of leagues away. They do this for the alluring promise of gold, plunder, and most importantly, meat. For their endless destruction and looting serves only to appease their gluttonous appetites and their ever-hungry god, the Great Maw. Camps. Deploy camps to create a forward base, constructing buildings and recruiting units from them. Meat. Each army is sustained by meat. Source it from fighting battles and being near camp. So that sounds like the food mechanic that the Skaven had in the second game. Contracts. Factions will issue you contracts. Fulfill them to increase your standing.
The ultimate tyrants.
So, there's two lords here at the start. The first one we'll be looking at is Greasus Goldtooth. By the way, you're probably going to pick up some... I think there are some similarities here between these guys and the orcs. At least that's how it sounds when you hear them talk. They kind of talk the same way. Over-tyrant Greasus Goldtooth is the fattest and most powerful ogre tyrant of all the ogre kingdoms. A master of bribery, the over-tyrant has always used his considerable wealth as a way to inspire greed and confusion amongst his enemies. Yet Greasus's rampant success has not diminished his greed or his all-consuming desire to conquer everything he sees. I mean, the way he rolls up here, look at that. I mean, that's like something, that looks like the kind of intro you'd see someone in WWE have. Diplomatic relations plus 20 with the Ogre Kingdoms. Income from trade plus 25%. Unit mass plus 25%. Lord effects, income from raiding plus 50%. Upkeep minus 50% for iron goods units. And income from sacking and looting settlements plus 50%. The Ogre Kingdoms sprawl across the Mountains of Morn. They have taken the peaks from the now extinct Sky Titans. This mountainous realm is a place of rocks, bones, and great beasts to be eaten or tamed. Perhaps kingdoms is a misnomer, for there is no king, but an over-tyrant who rules with an iron fist and demands tribute from the other tribes in the form of meat and gold. He is Greasus Goldtooth. I travel far for the Mountains of Morn, or beyond the Darklands in the east. This gives me time to ruminate on how to approach them, and convince the over-tyrant to invade the Chaos Realms. Avarice is the key, for there is no one greedier than Greasus.
The ogres feast to honor Greasus the over-tyrant. Their appetites are ferocious. I must be wary.
Time is up, wizard. No. Put him in the stew.
Wait! Untold power can be harnessed from a dying god.
Power? Ogres take what they want. What more power do we need? Boil the pot! Fresh meat!
Please wait! The god is up there! You can't devour it!
Quiet! A bear, you say?
Sounds tasty.
Shut up! A new meat. God flesh.
Enough for you. your warriors, and your god, the Great Maw.
I can smell it now. Roast god ribs.
A feast like no other.
You're no meat eater. What's in it for you?
My book reveals a path to his deathbed. I will show you the way for one drop of Ursun's divine blood.
One drop. But ogres get the rest.
That is the deal. Our goal is to claim Ursun. The ogres will eat their weight in god flesh and throw the leftovers into the Great Maw.
I'm getting hungry, Umi. Best start spitting out advice, or I'm gonna use your bones as toothpicks.
At once, Horde Master. The bear's roar has made the tribes restless. Other tyrants eye your mighty girth and are envious. The Cross Club's tribe plan to take your crown. Remind them who is the over-tyrant. Destroy them and subjugate any other tribe that dares to withhold tribute. The Firemouth is a sacred site. Claiming it by force or bribery is a powerful act and shall give you a base to expand westwards. Further south is the dwarf stronghold of Karak Azom. It should be cracked open and its riches added to your own. For we will require immense wealth if you are to hire the best ogres to invade the Chaos Realms. You will be busy, mighty trade lord, but the reward for your efforts is the god meat of Ursun. Let the feast begin, for the Great Maw hungers.
So, meat. Ogre armies gain meat from battles, from local settlements, and from ogre camps, which they use for their unit upkeep. Surplus meat may be sent to the Great Maw to gain bonuses. Ogre armies may create camps in enemy territory to assist with recruitment and resupply. Some ogre lords and heroes may earn a name for themselves by performing certain feats. Once earned, a big name confer bonuses on the ogre character that bears it. Ogre factions may be offered contracts from time to time by others to attack certain targets. Of course, his main area is called the Great Hole of Greasus. So, in 10 turns, a new set of contracts will be issued. Gotcha. Okay. Now, where is... We saw it earlier. I'm curious if we can actually see it here. I don't think we can. I think we have to move a bit to find it. But I was just curious how far away he starts off from the Great Maw. We saw it with Zhao Ming. I guess it was over here somewhere. But it's interesting that he wouldn't be that close to where it is. Huh. I've heard that this is the harder of the two ogre campaigns in terms of starting position and the way the lords work. And that this guy is mainly going to be doing a lot of fighting amongst others. By the way, yes, it looks like goblins do work for these guys. Noblers, or Noblars, Stonehorns, Iron Guts, Ogre Bulls, and just Ogre Bulls. I love that he had, like, he's not even walking, he's just on this vehicle that's just kind of driving him around. Look at that. He's got a big gigantic, that's one of his weapons. Wow. So he doesn't have a mount because, of course, he's on one already. Big names. So you can be able to do big names here like shockingly obese. Post-battle captive to gain defense, unit mass, gatecrasher, rating stance, income, horde master. Win a battle against an ogre kingdom. Quest the Scepter of Titans and Over Tyrant's Crown. Okay, so we can see that there's 50 meat right now. This does seem to come across to me as if it's supposed to be used similarly to the way that food was used for the Skaven. Whereas if we were to run low on meat, we'd start getting a debuff or start suffering from attrition. That's my guess. Offered to the Great Maw. So if you have a surplus of meat, you can go ahead and send these there in order to get certain boss for a period of time. So it looks like for 10 turns I could either get plus 10 melee attack, plus 20% campaign movement range, fill your belly's global recruitment duration, or win some magic. So imagine now you do this, which right away gets me an achievement. And all of a sudden he can just move around even more. Well, that may not be a big deal with this guy, but from what I've heard, it's actually a bigger deal with the other lord, which we'll be taking at next. Stay tuned.